Hello, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here to talk about some new releases that I am excited for that are coming in September. So first of all, there are a ton of new releases coming in September, and I really had to weed out the ones I was truly interested in, because otherwise this was going to be like a 2-hour long video, and I'm not doing that anymore. So this is like a very small selection of what's being released, particularly YA is like having a ton of books come out in September. So I do have, I think, 3 YA books that I thought were worth noting. There's only one of them that I'm truly interested in reading, but we'll get to that. So the first one is So Many Beginnings, a Little Women remix by Bethany C. Morrow. This is coming September 7th. This is basically a retelling of Little Women, except it's for black girls growing up in the Civil War. So I thought that was interesting. The only book by Bethany C. Morrow that I've read I didn't totally enjoy, but that was also a little bit my fault because I didn't really understand what I was getting into when I bought it. The next one I thought was worthy of note, We Are Not Broken by George M. Johnson. This is nonfiction by the author of All Boys Aren't Blue, which I know was a really big hit last year. I still hear people talking about it. But this particular work celebrates black boyhood and brotherhood in all its glory, and it's coming September 7th, if I didn't say that already. This one, I've actually just copied and pasted the entire synopsis because it honestly rocked my world a little bit. This is The Corpse Queen by Herrman. It's coming September 14th. In this dark and twisty feminist historical thriller, a teenage girl starts a new life as a grave robber, but quickly becomes entangled in a murderer's plans. Soon after her best friend Kitty mysteriously dies, orphaned 17-year-old Molly Green is sent away to live with her aunt. With no relations that she knows of, Molly assumes she has been sold as free domestic labor for the price of an extra donation in the church orphanage's coffers. Such a thing is not unheard of. There are only so many options for an unmarried girl in 1850s Philadelphia. Only when Molly arrives, she discovers her aunt is very much real, exceedingly wealthy, and with secrets of her own, secrets and wealth she intends to share for a price. Molly's estranged Aunt Ava has built her empire by robbing graves and selling the corpses to medical students who need bodies to practice surgical procedures. And she wants Molly to help her procure the corpses. As Molly learns her aunt's trade in the dead of night and explores the mansion by day, she is both horrified and deeply intrigued by the anatomy lessons held at the old church on her aunt's property. Enigmatic Dr. LaSalle's lessons are a heady mixture of knowledge and power, and Molly has never wanted anything more than to join his male-only group of students. But the cost of inclusion is steep, and with a murderer loose in the city, the pursuit of power and opportunity becomes a deadly dance. Look, I need this book. I need this book. Okay, so now moving into science fiction and fantasy, I've only got 3 here as well. So first off, we have Empire the Vampire by J. Kristoff. This comes out September 7th. I didn't think I was interested in this book, even though J. Kristoff is like a fairly popular writer because of Illuminae and Nevernight and everything else. But then I learned that the book is illustrated, and that piqued my interest. But it's also about vampires, which is a thing I'm not interested in. But then it also sounds a little bit like Castlevania, the video game. So okay. The sun hasn't risen in 27 years. Vampires have been waging war against humanity. Gabriel De Leon is a silver saint, the last member of a holy brotherhood dedicated to defending the realm and church from the creatures of the night. And this book is him telling his story of the search for the Holy Grail, which is like humanity's last hope. So I don't know where I fall on this one. I'll probably wait and hear some reviews first and see if maybe I can see a few of the illustrations. Next we have Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune. This comes out September 21st. I know T.J. Klune's last release, something about Cerulean Sea, I own it but I don't remember the title, was very popular, although some stuff has come to light about his inspiration that feels a little uncomfortable to me. But anyway, this one is about a Reaper coming to collect Wallace Price, but he isn't ready to be dead yet. A being called the Manager allows Wallace 7 days to cross over, and he sets out to live a full lifetime in those 7 days. The last fantasy is The Graduate by Naomi Novik. This comes out September 28th. This is the sequel to A Deadly Education, which I have not read, but I do own. So obviously I don't know anything about what the plot to The Last Graduate might be about. But yeah, if you're interested, if you liked The Deadly Education, this is coming out in September. We have a few, actually two, in the mystery thriller category. We have The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. This comes out September 7th. We have a perspective in 2017. 19-year-old Tallulah goes on a date and leaves her baby with her mother. She never returns. Then in 2019, Sophie is walking through the woods near the boarding school where her boyfriend works when she sees a note, "Dig here," attached to a tree. A cold case, an abandoned mansion, family trauma, and dark secrets. Those are a lot of buzzwords for me. A lot. I can't remember. I know I've read a few books by Lisa Jewell, and I really don't know. I always seem to fall either like middle of the road or I enjoyed them. So we'll see how this goes. And then the other mystery thriller is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. This comes out September 16th. This is the sequel to The Thursday Murder Club, which I know is hugely popular, so I thought I would mention it. Then we have historical fiction. I have a couple things here that I am interested in. Actually, quite a few. First of all, Matrix by Lauren Groff. This comes out September 7th. 17-year-old Marie is cast out of the royal court of Eleanor of Aquitaine for being too coarse and rough-hewn for marriage or courtly life. She is sent to England to be the prioress of an impoverished abbey. There's more to it as far as like what happens when she gets there and how she basically has to adjust to life in this abbey and then finds her like purpose there, but I only wrote down like snippets because yikes. But yeah, I love Eleanor of Aquitaine. I love that time period, so I thought this might be pretty interesting. Then on September 7th, we have Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. I know a lot of people really enjoy Evie Dunmore. I want to read her books, but I haven't done it yet. I might try and check them out from the library and do it that way. Anyway, London banking heiress Hattie Greenfield wanted just 3 things in life: acclaim as an artist, a noble cause, and marriage to a young lord who puts the gentle in gentlemen. Why then does this Oxford scholar find herself at the altar with the darkly attractive financier Lucian Blackstone, whose murky past and ruthless business practices strike fear in the hearts of Britain's peerage? Trust Hattie to take an invigorating little adventure too far. Now she's stuck with a churlish Scot who might just be the end of her ambitions. I think this is going to be so fun. Slightly less fun, Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead. This comes out September 14th. In the 1960s, Ray Carney is living an upstanding life as a furniture salesman. What people don't know is that he is descended from a line of crooks and his facade of normalcy is beginning to crack. His cousin Freddie volunteers Ray to work as a fence for a heist that he is involved with, and this causes Ray to struggle internally with the two sides of himself. I read The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead this year, and I found it to be okay. I felt like given the topic, it should have hit me in the feels a lot harder than it did. But Colson Whitehead is a pretty prolific author, and I do want to give him a second chance, so maybe it'll be this one. Oh, this is exciting. I actually got an ARC of this from NetGalley, Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. This comes out September 28th. I didn't quite know where to put this, and you'll see why in a minute. Set in 15th century Constantinople, a small town in present-day Idaho, and an interstellar starship decades from now. In each of these time periods, we are following people reading the story of Aethon? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Who longs to be turned into a bird so that he can fly to a utopian paradise in the sky. And I think there's some kind of through line with what happens as these people are reading the story in various time periods. I read All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, which was a World War II historical fiction, and this seems a significant departure from that. So I'll be very interested in seeing if he is one of those jack-of-all-trade authors who can just pick a genre and write in it. I have a couple in fiction, none that I'm particularly interested in, but they're pretty popular authors, so I thought I would give them a mention. We have A Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. It comes out September 7th. Sally Rooney wrote Normal People, I think, and I believe it was turned into a TV show on Hulu, maybe? HBO? I don't know. All I know is it ended up as a TV show, so I assume a lot of people read it and liked it. So if you did enjoy that show and or that book, the author has a new book coming out. And then we have Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. This comes out September 14th. Liane Moriarty, like, she's someone that I've read from, and I enjoyed the book when I read it, but like it didn't stick with me at all. And I feel like this will be kind of the same. We have a family known as the Delaney's. They are all like tennis stars, although their father, Stan, always basically tells his children that they don't have what it takes to truly make it in the professional tennis world. A stranger named Savannah shows up at the Delaney's after a fight with her boyfriend and seemingly wants more than kindness from them. The mother, Joy, disappears, as does Savannah, and Stan is under suspicion. Two of the Delaney children believe their father is innocent, and the other two aren't so sure. I'm just not terribly certain what the connection is between the tennis and the kid. I don't know. So if you like Liane Moriarty, she has a new book coming out. And then I have one in the nonfiction category. You can probably hear my dog. I'm sorry. I think we're getting a delivery of something. Anyway, The Dressmakers of Auschwitz, The True Story of the Women Who Sewed to Survive by Lucy Adlington. This comes out September 14th. 25 mainly Jewish women and girls were selected to create beautiful fashions for elite Nazi women. They hoped this work would spare them from the gas chamber. I haven't heard of this, but I do enjoy stories about how like fashion and clothing can shape the world and the people who live in it. And then it has that like World War II history through line going through it. So like that has me interested as well. And yeah, I'll be keen to see how I get on with this one. Honestly, I hope other people read it so I can read some reviews first. Those are the releases I am particularly excited for in September. As always, in the comment section, let me know any of these or any books in general that you were excited for coming in September. I always like to hear what other people are looking for because I do miss things sometimes. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.